Hi everyone, Coldam here again with another VOX Immortalis commentary guide. This video is for the heroic difficulty of Rotface in Icecrown Citadel. The raid setup we use is 1 tank and 2 healers, and in this case you can see I'm actually DPS so that our protection paladin can tank. And the reason for that is mostly because he would normally heal and I would tank, but on this particular fight healers have to move a lot. And so holy paladins are not as strong as more mobile healers. So we use a disciplined priest and a resto druid for healing. And most of the fight is exactly the same as the normal, just all the numbers are increased, of course. A few exceptions to note is the infection now reduces healing 75% instead of 50 on heroic. So it's really important to get that dispelled quickly because healers will have a hard time healing someone with that dot on them a long time. We use 2 shamans in normal raids, so cleansing totems from each group, and then a random person to dispel, usually a priest. We'll get rid of those quickly. The one main ability that's additional on the heroic version is Vile Gas, which is technically cast by Putricide, overlooking you in the balcony, but works just like the version from Festergut. It will randomly pick a player at range if there are enough valid people, meaning not a melee, and it will stun them every couple seconds, dealing damage for 6 or 8 seconds. So it's not that big of a deal. It's just important that your healers are aware to watch for indications of who gets that and heal them quickly. Another thing to note is that the kiter, the person with the big ooze, is a valid target since they will be at range most of the time. But because the stun comes in intervals, they can't actually keep moving in their general direction they were going while they're being stunned by vile gas. So it's important that your kiter tries to keep a minimum distance. And in our situation, you might have seen that our Death Knight kiter got vile gas earlier, but just kept moving, and he was far enough away that the ooze wasn't threatening him. And other than that, the basics of the fight just really are amplified. All the damage, especially from the larger pools, is pretty hefty. So the only person that should ever really stand in it is the kiter when they have to run through it. And just like normal, save your Blessing of Freedoms if you have one available for that kiter when they have to do that. Also, the slime spray can be pretty deadly, so the raid needs to be very conscious and move out of that. And your ranged and healers, at least 4 people need to stay outside of melee range to be valid targets for vile gas. The weak radiating ooze that comes from the small oozes is increased slightly, but it's not dangerous enough that you should worry about it. So if you have a player that gets mutating infection, just immediately dispel them to get rid of the healing debuff, and then let them worry about moving outside of the raid in their own time. The actual AE damage is still very healable compared to the healing reduction damage on that player. And that's really it. There's not much to say about the heroic version of this fight. We found it actually was much easier to learn this heroic relative to the normal difficulty than for Festergut. So good luck and thanks for watching.